Yeah, what's good, my peoples? What is good, my peoples? I'm back. Yeah, man, happy to be back after a brief hiatus. I was gone for a week. Um, Little situation, caught a little strike with YouTube. Made a little mistake. We're gonna learn from that though, it's so good. Um, Yo, man, lots to talk about, my peoples. Um, it was Canelo versus Berlanga that led to that YouTube strike. I was actually, doing my round by round reaction, and yo, before I knew it, boom, YouTube hit me up. I guess my microphone picked up the audio from the broadcast. They looked at it as I'm trying to broadcast a fight. Caught a strike. I was down and out for a week, my peoples. But y'all already see it. I'm back, and we going better than ever. Yo, today we're gonna be talking about AJ, Tank Davis, plus Bud versus Canelo, possible showdown. Of course, we gotta talk about that. Y'all already know, my peoples. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome to Box Center. I'm your host, Jay Smith. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm your connections. Oh shit, my boy Almontes was, yo, what's the deal, my boy? What's really good, man? Like I said, man, I've been out for a week simply because, yo, I caught a YouTube strike. But it's all good now, you know what I'm saying? We back in the building, and we're gonna do what we gotta do. Let me put you in, let me plug you in, my boy. You got your connections. Let me plug you in. So, yo, today's show, we're gonna get started off with AJ versus Dubois. Um, yo, I felt like Dubois shocked the world. Like, a lot of people expected AJ to stop him. If I'm being real with y'all, I predicted that AJ was gonna stop Dubois. And I don't know what happened. It didn't go down like that. Vanessa Pérez, saludando, saludando. Gracias por pasar por aquí. So, yeah, man, Dubois, yo, he went up in there with them skills and did what he had to do. But the thing that is weird to me is like, how does AJ look so good in one fight, and then in the very next fight, he looks like a robot? Like how does he go from this guy that's light on his toes, using the ring, using working behind the jab, and then the next fight or a couple fights down the line, he's a totally different fighter. So look at that. You had him winning in 4 or 5 rounds. I was saying that Dubois was not gonna make it past the eighth. I thought AJ was gonna stop him, but that's it. Anybody who ever disrespected Dubois, anybody who ever felt like he wasn't legit, there you have it, my peoples. Daniel Dubois, yo, put the Swiss beats, the Dre beats, and you know what? The Apple beats on AJ. Y'all gotta keep it 100. And my peoples, don't be cheap, man. Hit that like button, man. Don't play with me like that. Hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to Box Center, trust me, man. You want to subscribe. I'm your connections. You know what I'm saying? We on the come up, my peoples. You want to subscribe to Box Center. But again, yo, everybody thought that AJ was going to stop Dubois. I was like, yo, he going to stop him, and it's going to be a nasty knockout. And before you know it, yo, from the first round, you saw that Dubois was being aggressive. Dubois was taking the fight to him. And then you see him walking him down. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on with AJ? He's getting walked down. He's eating big punches. So early on, it didn't look good. It was like, oh, wait a minute. This is not right. That's how it played out, man. But we gotta see. We gotta see, going forward. Because remember, AJ already said that he's not going to retire. He already said that. So here's the magic question, my peoples. If AJ's not gonna retire, who is he gonna fight next? What is he gonna do next? Think about this. Are we gonna get AJ versus Wilder next? They're both coming off of a loss. They both got knocked out. So imagine if we get AJ versus, because, that fight, we don't want it the same way we wanted it when they was both undefeated. The Bronze Bomber was knocking everybody out. AJ was doing the same. We was dying for that fight. It didn't happen. But now that both of them have taken multiple losses and they already wanted to fight, they was planning on fighting, I believe AJ and Wilder should get it in. My prediction for that fight is going to be a double knockout. They both going to knock each other out. Nah, I'm just playing with y'all. No predictions because we don't even know if that fight is going to happen. But honestly, my peoples, I would like to see it. AJ versus Wilder, I would like to see it. Now, I want to ask y'all about something. Right quick. Yo, Canelo Alvarez has not decided on his next opponent. That's going to be our next topic right there. AJ will win. He a better boxer. I mean, AJ's supposed to win that fight by a knockout. But you never know who's going to eat that big punch first. You never know who's going to, swallow that haymaker and go to sleep. But, again, my people, let's talk about Canelo Alvarez real quick. Talk about Canelo. Who should he fight next? Right? That's the magic question. Most people are saying that he should fight the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez. And there are some people, including myself, who's saying he should fight Terrence Bud Crawford. Right? So, what's good, Ken Grayson? Appreciate you dropping in, my boy. So, check it, though. All right. This is a democracy. I see y'all got Benavidez and whatnot. So here's the deal. And I was in a podcast, Boxing Talk Up North. Shout out to my boy Ryan. And he had James Toney on. And I asked him that question. And Mr. Lights Out was like, yo, the Mexican Monster. So he picked, the Mexican Monster as the fighter who should be Canelo's next opponent. So that's a popular opinion, and I get that. What if the fight doesn't happen? You guys have to understand, Canelo has been avoiding the Mexican Monster for how long right now? 4 years, 5, 6 years? So at this point, at the tail end of his career, with the last few fights left, do you think he's going to want to fight a 27-year-old Mexican Monster dead in the middle of his prime? Tell me that. Tell me that right there. So I believe that Canelo Alvarez don't want Mexican Monster type of problems. He don't want those type of problems, my people. He didn't. Look, let me tell you like this. Canelo's best opportunity to beat David Benavidez was like 5, 6 years ago when he was in his early 20s and still, growing into his body, developing his skills. But now at this point, a 27-year-old David Benavidez, I believe he has all of the tools and resources, the size advantage, the advantage in age and power to put the Swiss Dre, and Apple beats on Canelo. So if Canelo knows this and he don't want those type of problems, he don't want that type of beating, he's gonna pick Terrence Buck Crawford as his next opponent. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. You know, though even he himself said, "Oh, Terrence Crawford is easy money." So if he believes Terrence Crawford is easy money, now this is something that I want to point out to you, my peoples, right? Because everybody's saying Crawford is too small for 168, right? I want you to consider this. Look at Canelo's knockout ratio in the 168 division. And look at his last knockout was a couple of years ago. Canelo's not knocking people out at 168. Why he's not stopping anyone there? Because what I've already told you guys. Canelo is a small dude. He's a small 168 pounder. All of the guys that he fights are bigger than him. So that's why you don't see him getting those stoppages no more. He's not going to stop guys. Again, because he's small in that division and they can take his punches. So all of a sudden, because Crawford is going to move up to 168, Canelo's too big for him. He's too big. What do you mean he's too big? You see him murdering people at 168? Nope. So what you have to understand is that Canelo hasn't stopped anyone in a long time. And he like 34. He about to be 35 years old, I think. So he's only getting older. He's not going to be stopping anybody in that division. Why? Again, because all them dudes is bigger than him. So when Crawford moves up, he's going to have physical advantages over Canelo that people keep overlooking. Crawford is taller than Canelo, and he has longer reach than Canelo. And that's what I try to explain to people. When shorter fighters move up, it's tough for them. Because now they're fighting bigger guys who have physical advantages, who are taller and longer reach. So now when you're fighting somebody who's stronger and has those advantages, you're in trouble. Or you could potentially be in trouble. That's why, look at Tank Davis. Why do you see him at 135? Why he don't move up to 140 and to 147? Because he's a small dude. So he has a limit as to how many divisions he can climb up. He can't keep moving up like that. Look, he went to 140 for one fight and went right back to 135. But again, smaller guys who are shorter have a lower ceiling as far as how many divisions they can climb up. Have to take that into consideration. So Canelo being a small dude, when Crawford move up to 168, the size difference is not going to be, Crawford has physical advantages over him. And by the way, height and reach are the two physical advantages that B-Boy used to put the beats on Canelo. B-Boy was tap dancing circles around him, putting hands and feet from all angles in his face. So that shows you. B-Boy's not a power puncher. Just like Floyd Mayweather wasn't a power puncher. The two guys that beat Canelo were fighters who had the boxing skills and the footwork that Canelo could not keep up with. Boom. So I'm sticking with my prediction. Terrence Bud Crawford is going to beat Canelo Alvarez if and when the fight happens. I already told y'all. Unanimous decision, by the way. My peoples, check it. I got to talk to y'all about this situation that has been brewing and brewing and brewing. And I want to see what y'all got to say about this. Tank Davis had been in talks with Rayo Valenzuela. They had that conversation about, their teams, about them fighting. right? So the information that was out there is that El Rayo didn't want to fight until February because he wanted to take some time off. But Tank wanted to fight in November because that's when he got his fight date for. And okay, so for whatever reason, they haven't been able to agree, right? Well, it's recently been revealed by his trainer, Mikey Garcia's brother, Mr. Garcia, revealed that Tank Davis offered to fight Rayo at 135. Y'all explain that to me. How El Rayo Valenzuela just won a title in the 140 division where he's now a reigning champion, and Tank is offering him a fight at 135. Y'all want to explain that to me? You challenging the champion to go down a division? Really? Now, I tell you what, I wanted to see Tank Davis versus Rayo Valenzuela, and I still want to see it. But of course, I want to see it at 140 because that's where El Rayo is the champion. I don't want to see it at 135. And I don't like the fact that Tank Davis is calling him to come down to his division. Bro, you calling him. You want to fight him. So I understand you the A side. The terms of the negotiations are going to be in your favor. But what is you talking about? Go back down to 135. Are you for real? What are we doing here? See, this is one of the things that I don't like about, the way Tank Davis and his team handle the situations. It's like there always seems to be some to give Tank an advantage over his opponent. And bro, you're about to be 30 years old and you still haven't, faced the big dogs in the divisions where you're at. Beyelin Hernández, te quiero, mi amor. Gracias por pasar por aquí a chequear a tu Moy. So yeah, my peoples, we have to understand what is really going on with this situation. Why is Tank Davis trying to get Rayo to come down to 135 and fight him there when this dude just won a title at 140? Shouldn't he be wanting to go up to 140 and challenging him for his title like he did with Barrios? Remember, that's what he did with Mario Barrios. He moved up to 140 and challenged him. So why exactly is it any different with Rayo Valenzuela, who holds a title? And he holds a real title because, at that point, Barrios held a secondary title, aka a Mickey Mouse belt. And Tank went to 140 and fought him for that. So why not go to 140 and fight Rayo Valenzuela for his real title? By the way, my peoples, hit that like button, man. Don't be cheap. Démele a ese botoncito de like, que yo no lo voy a cobrar. Nah, man. So check it, my peoples. We gonna move on to the next one. On to the next one, my people. If Tank Davis is not gonna fight Rayo Valenzuela, if Tank Davis not gonna fight Rayo Valenzuela, who is he gonna fight next? They say he's gonna fight Lamont Roach, I think. I think it's Lamont Roach. Now, in whose radar has Lamont been on? In nobody's radar. Is that a fight that anybody was calling for, that anybody wanted to see? Nope. Only thing I'm happy is if Lamont's gonna get the bag. You're gonna get an opportunity to get the bag. But Tank Davis is not gonna get the type of opponent that we want to see him with. So here's the magic question for you. Why is it that when other fighters get a weaker opponent than what people want to see, they get attacked ruthlessly? But Tank Davis is going to fight a guy a lot of you never heard of, and I don't see nobody attacking him. I don't see people saying, yo, who is Tank Davis fighting next? Who's that guy? Why is he fighting that dude next? Why is he not fighting a big name? Why is he not fighting one of the best? So it's like this logic only applies to other fighters. But with Tank Davis, when he go and fight a dude that you never heard of, that logic don't apply. I don't see all of the attacks on social media. I don't see Facebook lit up about the opponent he about to fight. So we have to see what that's about. What is that bias about? Hey, yo, my peoples, don't be cheap with that like button, man. Hit that like button. And, of course, if you haven't subscribed to Box Center, yo, boom, make sure you subscribe to Box Center. This is your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show. I promise you. Now, moving on to the next one, my peoples. Moving on to the next one. So, Shakur Stevenson, who was supposed to fight Joe Cordina, we know he got injured, right? I think it's his right hand. Thus, he remains inactive for the rest of the year. However, Eddie Hearn already said that he's going to come back and go straight into fighting this dude from Golden Boy. Can't remember his name right now. But Buddy over there, undefeated champion. And Shakur already told us on social media he gonna put the beats on him. Oh yeah, William Zepeda. Shakur already told us, yo, y'all think William Zepeda real like that? I'll put the beats on him. So now Shakur Stevenson gets past him. Tank Davis wins his next fight versus Buddy that he's gonna fight. Can we get that showdown, man? Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis in the middle of next year. Was really good with that. It's been so many predictions about that fight. Obviously speculation. Because we don't know if it's going to happen. And a lot of people saying Tank is going to knock him out. Tank is going to knock him out. The same way a lot of people will say Rayo was going to knock him. The same way they were saying Pitbull was going to knock Rayo out. Pitbull's going to knock Rayo out. Pitbull's going to knock Rayo out. The smaller, stronger guy is going to knock out the taller boxer guy. You saw how that played out. You saw it. Rayo Valenzuela put so many hands on Pitbull Cruz. So many. And that's what's going to happen when Shakur Stevenson share the ring with Tank Davis. All types of hands. So there you have it, my peoples. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Yo, you already know what it is, man. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Mondays through Fridays. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. All new segments. By the way, tomorrow we're going to air a segment of Goofiest of the Oofiest. Yo, check out tomorrow's episode if you want to find out who is the most recent Goofiest of the Oofiest. Don't miss it. All new segments. Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. My peoples, don't be cheap with that like button. Hit that like button. Just go like that. Boop. Hit that like button. There's no fee. I'm not gonna charge you. And go ahead and subscribe to Box Center. I'm your connections. I'm your plug. Appreciate you guys joining me, my people. See you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You see it, man. You see it. Peace.